Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Magnus, and today we're going to talk about upgrading from r80.10 to r80.30. And r80.30 is the newest GA release from Check Point. And what you need to do first is more or less check the upgrade guide. The upgrade guide will have all the steps that you actually need to take, and we will go into depth of some of them, and then we're going to perform an upgrade on a live system. And I will cut a lot in this video because the upgrade itself, it took 9 hours. So this first video is about 30 minutes, and that's regarding the upgrade process for the MDS. And MDS is, as you know, when you have multiple management servers on the same box, so to say. This is normally used for service providers, so it's a more advanced or a complicated upgrade. It's more or less the same process, but you really need to check the upgrade guide and see what actually needs to be done. So the upgrade guide can be found on the user center, and it's more or less only to upgrade, to search for install an upgrade guide for the version that you want to go to, and then it will specify the different steps that you need to take from the specific version that you're planning to go from. Here's the picture of the upgrade map. So here you can see on the left side what version are you currently running, and we are running r80.10. And on the long line, on the horizontal line, you can see what you want to upgrade to, and we want to upgrade to r80.30. And it's a normal box there, and so it's upgradable, and it's no problem, so to say. You can see that r80.30 is actually compatible to upgrade quite far back. You can upgrade already until r75.45, so that's really long back. I know most of you are either on r80.10 or r77.30. r77.30 was a very stable release. Before you do your upgrade, make sure that you have the latest CPUs or Check Point Upgrade Service engine on your box. And currently released, the newest one is 1889, and this video is recorded in end of May 2020. So this is the newest as of now. This guide including how you should upgrade it if you need to, but it's really recommended that you upgrade this before. It will remove a lot of troubles that you may have, because this is Check Point's way to automate your upgrade, so they can add additional steps for verification, etc. And this is upgraded from time to time. Just check that you have the latest version, and you will be fine on that part. When it comes to multi-domain servers, it's really important to check the global policy and reassign it to all your different domains. I forget to do this in advance, so this is a video already on r80.30 after the upgrade, but this is just to show you how to reassign the policy. It's fairly straightforward. You just go to global assignment, and then you right click on the domain in question and take reassign. And it takes a few seconds or a few minutes depending on how big the global policy is. I would maybe install the policies as well, just to check that you don't have any issues, but this is the bare minimum to just check it. The most important part is to take a backup of your system. I'm running my systems in VMware, my production MDS, or MDSs, I have a few. And VMware is really simple to take a backup. More or less you only need to do a snapshot, and you don't need to take the memory. That will take very long to do snapshots. So just do a snapshot after you have done all your preparation, and do before your upgrade. So this can be to make sure that you have downloaded the newest version of CPUs, fixed all your global policies, download the version that you want to come to, and if you need to, you can either revert to, or when you're finished and you have done your tests, you do delete all and remove all your snapshots. It can be a good idea to take snapshots between between the major version and HFA version as well, and you can have multiple snapshots. If you have multiple snapshots, just keep in mind to ask the VMware guys, the server guys, that you have enough space for it, and you shouldn't keep the snapshots too long. So maximum a few days. I would not recommend you to keep them any longer. A few days should be able to verify all. So let's jump into the upgrade itself. Here we have our R80.10 version, and we are reassigning the global policies on all the domains here. So the first part of the video was recorded after the upgrade was done, and that was only to make sure that you see some more of the steps that we take. Next step is to check that there is no active sessions. You don't want anyone to do changes, and you want to discard or publish changes that have been forgotten or similar, and that you can do under view sessions. And more or less we will reboot all the boxes before the upgrade, so we know that everything is up to date, everything is hunky-dory, so to say. So we will log into both the MDS, the MLM, and the SmartEvent server, and just check that everything looks okay, and that's to reboot the boxes, all 3 of them. So to just recap, make sure that you do your upgrade of CPUs, kick out all the sessions, so no one is doing any changes. Make sure to reboot the boxes. Make sure that you can actually install policies, everything, so there is no surprise for you after you have done the upgrade. You want to know if the system was perfect or almost perfect before you do the upgrade. Of course, you can do an upgrade to fix a bug, etc., and then you will have that bug, so the system would not be perfect. But try to have it as perfect as possible, so you know what is affected by the upgrade, so to say. What we will do next here is to download the package from CPUSE, and we will do this in the GUI. You can do this in the CLI as well. We will log into the CLI after this to check the upgrade logs, etc., so you can see some more stuff. And here you can see that we're running VMware, and uptime is very little. And CPUs, then just need to find the package that you're looking for, and you are looking for the upgrade, or if you want to do an advanced upgrade, then you're looking for the clean install, etc. But we will do a more simple upgrade, so we will do a normal upgrade from CPUs. So we download the package that we need, and after you have downloaded, you do the verification, and the verification will tell you if everything looks okay from Check Point's part. If you have like specific hotfixes, it will complain on that, or some more stuff, but it will not verify that you have backups, etc. It will just check like parameters like, are all your hotfixes compatible with the new version? Do you have enough disk space, etc.? So things that Check Point can check. They will not check if you have backups, etc. They will take a small backup, but you should do your own backup before. And of course, you should try to move the backup off the server in question that you want to upgrade. We have VMware on our servers, so it's a lot easier for us. We don't need to think so much about the backup because it's a very simple process to just do snapshots. If you, on the other hand, has a physical box, well, maybe you need to do a migrate export, maybe you need to do a snapshot on an appliance, maybe you need to take out the disk from a RAID set. So there can be a lot of things that you actually need to do. And I'm not sure which is the best way for you, but for my case, it's the snapshot in VMware. And we see here that the verification was okay. So this means that we can start the upgrade, and make sure that you select the upgrade and not the install. So upgrade. We did actually do that mistake on the MLM, so we needed to revert the snapshot and redo the upgrade. So it happens. It's not nice, but at least we got to test the backup and see that that did work. On the MDS in question that we're doing now, we did select the upgrade option from start. So this is the correct video for it, so to say. And you don't need to log into CLI like we did, but we wanted to show you more things regarding what actually happens on the box. So there is a file that you can check. I will paste it for you in the description below, but more or less you can see more of the logs that is actually happening in the background, because the status bar on the CPUs is very limited. If you don't have steel nerves, I would recommend you to open the CLI. Yes, you can see that the box is working, and I suggest you to at least look on the top command. And then you can see like gzip, etc. So you see that something is happening in the background, because this can take quite a long time. This first upgrade process is very simple before it reboots, but it's not a 5-minute work. It will take a few hours if you have big boxes. So it's really important to be patient and understand if something goes wrong. So I recommend you to both have the web GUI up and also just to see things. So we can see in the logs here in a few seconds that it will say upgrading done, so to say, but it's not really done. It's just the box will reboot, and after it reboots you can log in again, and you can see in the upgrade bar that it's not done. It will do a lot more processes. So let's log in here, and when we first log in, we did type MDS stat, and that's to see your virtual machines, and they actually don't exist. And this is because the upgrade is not done. So if you do a top, you see that the box is still working, and if you log into the web GUI, you see the same. So we will open the log here first of all. So you just type tail -f, and then you do the log file that you want to check, and it's var/log/installer management upgrade, and you select the version that you are on. So you can see that the box is working in the background, and if you log into the web GUI, you will get the notification here as well. I will show you that in a few seconds. Just open top here, so we see that the box is working. I will move this around. So you see that the box is working both in the log files on and in the CPU, so you don't go crazy. As you can see here, this upgrade has already been over, I think, like 50 minutes. And as I said, the total upgrade time for all 3 boxes was 9 hours. So if you think I'm slow in informing you which steps it is, it's a lot slower to do the upgrade in real, and then you will have some pulse as well, because well, you don't want something to go wrong. And it's really nice to upgrade to the newest version all the time. And after you have done a few, then it's a lot simpler. Check Point has improved the process of upgrading their major release a lot. It was a lot harder before. So let's just log into the web GUI so you can see that it actually says that the upgrade is still in process. So you don't need to be in the CLI to see this. It's just yeah, it gives them more information than the CLI is doing. So here you can see upgrade is still running in the background, and it's more or less far from done. I believe the percentage that is actually on here is 58% or so. We will see if we can see that in the CPUs. I did read a lot in the Check Point community before. If you haven't been there, I recommend you to just check it. It's you search for Check Point community and you will go into something called Checkmates. And as you see here, it's 58%, and it's on 58% that people can get stuck for 30 minutes, an hour, or even more. So I would just suggest here to take something to eat, do something else. You don't need to see this, because more or less you will see nothing on the screen here for a long period of time. As you can see here in our team chat, we have passed 2 hours here, and that's with preparation and doing the upgrade process. And when it's past 58%, you will see it starting to import the CMAs. And we got worried here. We didn't know what to expect. We were thinking that we at least should get something in the logs, but we could see that the CPU on the box was still very high, and we didn't see any error messaging like war log messages. So we more or less said, like, yeah, let's take 1 hour more and just wait it out. We don't want to restart it. So you can see us here doing some verification process. So more or less we got pretty nervous here because we did see that many people got stuck on 58%, but it was no issue. It just took longer than we expected. So just wait here. It's not a danger to wait, and in the meantime you can do the verification and download the files to the MLMs and to the CMAs as well, so you're ready when it's time to do the next upgrade, so you don't need to wait for that one. We did do backups on all 3 boxes at the same time, so we can go back to a starting point where we know everything was okay. The problem with this is that you can lose quite a lot of logs if this takes a while. I mean, if we would roll back everything now, we would lose about 2 hours of log files. So maybe that's not the best way. You can do multiple snapshots if you want to, or you can make sure to offload logs, etc. But that's something that you need to think about. How important are your logs, and can you offload them to something so you keep them more or less. So we did spend a few minutes on just downloading and doing verification on this to keep our minds in line, so to say. And after a while, we did see that import process started for CMAs. This is a voiceover from the upgrade. I didn't want to, well, live stream this, so to say. That would be a very long live stream. So this is 2 hours and 14 minutes in. And we do our upgrades more than one person, because if you do this yourself, it's not fun if something breaks, or if you need to do TAC. If you get quite tired after a while. We did start 6 in the evening, and that's because we have no production outage on the traffic, so to say. But in some cases, you are not allowed to do this during the day or off hours. You need to do it in a service window, and you need to make sure to have a long enough service window then. And you will see this import for each single CMA. It took a while, but at least you see something is happening. And each line of green there with success feels like a small victory. So it was a lot nicer to see this when it actually happened. Within MDS, I believe the maximum number that you can have according to Check Point is like 250 CMAs. I would not recommend you to go above, let's say 75 to 100. It takes a lot of memory. Expect like 1 gig per CMA. And it's, well, you need big boxes then. And you can see here that we are in the end of the import, and here it comes up like upgrade is done, starting the systems. And this will take a lot longer than normally. So if your normal CMA starts in 5 minutes, expect a double. And that's an issue when you have let's say 70 CMAs. It will take a long time to start it, and especially during upgrades. Our MDS starts in VMware, so it takes like 30 seconds to start a box. If you have running it on like an HP machine, only the boot time of the HP machine is like 5 minutes. So, well, it's a lot of waiting process in this upgrade. And it's not like you can go away for 2 hours and not check it. That will be hard. And you can waste a lot of times if you're not ready to do the next steps all the time. So our box did go to this stage after almost 2 hours, or a bit more than 2 hours, because as I said, we did some preparation work before we did start actually upgrade. So if you run MDS stat, you can see the status on your CMAs. And as you see here, we have like, I don't know, 10-15 CMAs in our MDS in this one. So this is a fairly small one. And the biggest rule set in one of these CMAs is about 1500 lines. So it's that's a pretty big one. And when you log into the GUI here, you can see that it failed communication with our MLM, and that's to be expected because they are on different versions. So what you need to do here to check that everything seems okay is that you will reassign all the policies. You will also run a small script command to upgrade the version on each and single CMA in question, so they get to become an r80.30 instead of an r80.10. And that's just a small short command. The command is listed in the upgrade guide. I will put it in the description below as well. This video would be divided up in I believe 2 videos, because it would be too long to cover the MLM as well. But more or less you need to figure out if everything looks okay. And we do install database on all CMAs. So you log into everything and then you do install database. We did install it on a single one. No, we did actually try to install it on both on some, and it did succeed. I don't believe it actually installed it on both, but we did do it and it did work. So it takes some time. You need to log into every single CMA, start the SmartConsole, and then do install database. If you have 17 CMAs, expect an hour's work, because each of these CMAs takes a few minutes. It's 5-6 clicks in each, and Check Point Professional Service, they do the same. So there is no script, as far as I know, to do install database on all. That would be a nice command. It would save some time. And question is also, where is the logging currently going? Well, the logging is currently going to the MLM. So in our case, can you see or not see the logs? That's a question. And this is it for the first video. I will do a second video for the MLM, and we did struggle a bit on this. We needed to extend the disk because we did not have enough disk for the upgrade. So we will show you the LVL manager as well. And if you have any questions, please comment below, and I try to address them. The upgrades is a lot more simpler now, and it's more or less a waiting game. Just make sure to follow the upgrade guide and read it really careful, because there is small steps that you should think about. And as always, make a backup before you do any changes on your system that can affect your production or your production capabilities. And the MDS is certainly one of them, especially if you're running VSX, because in VSX all your configuration for your gateways are on the management server, and it will be horrible to lose it. And that's the same for the firewall rules and the logs, etc. It's not locally on the box, it's in the management server. So the management server is really important to have a good backup on, and that you actually have tested sometimes to roll back to your backup so you see that it works. So just test it in advance, and do a snapshot, do a migrate export, do whatever you need to do to feel confident and safe with the backup. So that's the tip for today, so to say. I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.